beautiful humans. We are back to go over 90 Day Fiancé. I am Mrs. Best. Welcome to the channel. Let's also shout out, we don't usually do this, but I want to shout out before we get into anything American Born 2. I do appreciate you for moderating. It does help me a bunch, and I appreciate you. And American Born is welcoming y'all to the channel as well. We're here to go over the 90 Day Fiancé season 12 episode 8 titled Love is a Work in Progress. That it is. But all of these people are on some BS with the exception of like maybe a couple. But yes, don't forget to like the video. Feel free to leave a comment. It is safe to comment even if you have different opinions. Shout out to our replay gang. Hashtag replay in the comments if you are watching the replay. Also, let's keep the comments going, or the conversation going in the comments. But I am happy to be here. Thank you so much. It's like one less thing to do. It really do help my brain. What's poppin', Shani? My twin, my only twin, my true Gemini twin. We are happy to see Shani here. She also assists with moderating. Y'all, I feel like they got it wrong, but Marissa got on my nerves this episode. You were too. Okay, I thought it was just me. AB said I was aggravated. I was annoyed because I'm just like, I feel like a lot of these couples are not going to make it. And I know 90 Day Fiancé, like a lot of them, like long-term don't make it. But I like to have hope. I like to at least pretend maybe these people are a little bit healthy or see like a couple or two that might be able to, you know, make it work. But I guess we not. I guess we don't have that this season. And Ashia, I'm still wondering why that chick is even on this I don't understand why she's here. Like, I really don't understand why she's here. But let's get into the episode, y'all. The first people we're going to discuss is Marissa and Edward. I don't care for Marissa worth a hot piece of a damn. I really don't. Marissa is one of those rich ladies, one of them rich, clear women who acts like she's down and acts like she understands, but is still sedity and really just about herself. Edward is coming to the U.S. She understands how a K-1 visa works. And she knows that when you get a K-1 visa, you have to wait a certain amount of time. I believe it's 6 months before he can apply for a work visa because they want to make sure you're married and have someone there paying tax for you, all that stuff. So she was aware of this and is now complaining about the shit that she expected. Things that she expected that she's complaining about. He doesn't have any money. I have to help him with stuff. He just got to America like a week or two ago. Like, chillax, relax. And she says she wants Edward to man up and do more things around the house, which I really did not like. He just got there and you're already finicky about the house, saying he's lucky to be able to use the restroom and the shower and all of these crazy things. Like, bitch, what you want? I don't understand it. And I don't dislike Marissa, but I can see why she's divorced. I feel like she blames stuff on her family, but the family can only do so much. I do feel like she is the problem. She's too particular, which is a quality of a CEO and a boss. But at the same time, she borderlines rude with how she corrects them. So Edward saw that her fence was messed up and that she's been wanting like to fix it in America. I'm sure it's like this in every state. If you share a fence with somebody, like you have to discuss the cost and figure out who's going to fix what and things like that. Edward tried to fix it. He just took some old stuff. He found like some old crown molding and wood that he found around the house, and he decided to use that to hold the fence up. It did look tacky. However, it was a quick fix. He was trying to do something nice. It was the effort that counted. Now he calls Marissa out there to see it, and she says that it looks trashy and that people are going to drive by and think that she's the white trash of the neighborhood. So in this $1 million neighborhood, people are going to drive by and think that you are white trash because he nailed some screws and some wood to your broken fence. I think the white trash was the one just leaving the fence unfixed before. I think it was the one who at least made the attempt, but that's just me. I thought that was a little extra. Edward was like, so what? Do they pay your rent? Why do we care? Why do we care about other people's opinion? And Marissa's like, I care very much about people's opinion. I hate people like this. I don't like people like this. Like, this is a little weird. But she pretty much talked down on him and was ungrateful. She could have been like, I appreciate you trying to do this, but the way my neighborhood worked, like that could have been an opportunity to explain to him homeowners associations, the rules that they have, neighborhood watch, cultural aspects of white rich America, which is very bougie, sedity, and the people who don't understand how to mind their business and always looking for a problem. Like she could have took the opportunity to explain to him certain things, but she didn't. She just tore him down. She claims that she was mortified with what he did and asked him to clean stuff up. So later on in the episode, they end up going somewhere because Edward cleans up like she wants. And they're going to New York for the first time because she is part-time in New York when her boys are with their dad. And then she's in Pennsylvania when the boys are not with their dad. And she's upset because Edward forgot his wallet. He says he needs a new wallet. He's keeping stuff in his pockets. Cultural differences, y'all. And she kind of got mad at him again and was like, I don't want to feel like I'm with a child. I have to do this and that. Well, how are you going to get around with no money and no this? And I'm just like, you knew you would have to sponsor him financially. I can't tell if Marissa, because she's so wealthy, is used to people wanting or being with her for her money, or if she really is just this rude and insensitive and out of touch. But there is a way to express stuff to people without tearing them down. There's no reason to call what they do trashy. There's no reason to say you're mortified. There's no reason to do any of that. He is in a new country. He just got here. You know he's not able to work. Give him grace. Or have enough trust to allow him to be in your house alone in Pennsylvania or something, because how is he going to find a job? If he finds a job, he's going to have to be in Pennsylvania or New York full time. Like, I don't know. I just feel like Marissa has unrealistic expectations for Edward, which is crazy because she's just complaining about all the shit that she knew. But let me know if y'all feel differently. It's not that I dislike her. I'm just kind of like, I just don't like when people complain about shit that we see coming. It's like if I look at the weather app and it says it's going to rain tomorrow, and then tomorrow it's raining, and I'm like, I'm mad it's fucking raining. It's like, well, you knew it was coming. Like, it's okay to be irritated, but like express it in an adult way, please. AB said Ashia is coming for CCs who talk about her. Come on, bitch. I'm here. Come for me. I would love if she would come for me. Mrs. Best Reviews, aka Amina Herbert, come for me. I'm sending for you, please. Because Ashia can't talk about nobody in that wig the way she's trying to get that man to change himself. That's why she's alone at 38, as quiet as it's kept. She is her own problem. She is her own problem. I hope she's not coming for content creators. Content creators are who make y'all relevant. If we don't talk about you, you just get forgotten when they move on to the new season. That's how it goes. That's how it goes. Marissa is a witch. Yeah, she's mean. That's why her mama looked younger than her. I said what I said. He can't do anything. He can't work. What she needs to do is take his ass into the city with her and let him go uptown to Dykeman and hang out. I actually, Shani, agree that New York is probably a better place for him to be in than PA. Now, if she was somewhere like Philly, maybe, but even then, I think there's more opportunity for him in New York than there is where she lives. Is that a gay bar? Those wood fences are expensive and they do wear out. She should have called in an expert. She should have. She's just letting it sit and then attacking him for trying to help. Lord. American born. No, it's not a gay bar. It's an area uptown in Manhattan where a lot of Dominicans live and work. Oh, so he could blend right in. That makes sense. That makes sense. I'm sure nobody wants to be near her house so they don't have to make eye contact with her. Listen, we don't see a neighbor outside. We do not see not even a neighbor outside, y'all. But I did say for the first episode, he gives me, I think he's gay. You sure did. And I'm starting to see that, Shani. American Born says, is the dick not good because she seems sexually frustrated? I mean, he did say he just had a operation on his man part. He got his little tillywhacker circumcised. I would imagine that even after it's healed, maybe if he goes if he does too much in the bedroom, maybe it causes him pain, but that could be it. Because she acting like she ain't had dick since Pac died. She out there tripping for no reason. Shani said, I would have blamed it on the neighbor if I was her and said, listen, I appreciate what you did with the fence, but my neighbor's not going to like it. That's all she had to say. But she's so mean when she talks to him. It's like her delivery is to tear people down. And if that's how you talk to your subordinates at work, you're not going to have subordinates at work. You're going to have high turnover, baby. She's been going back and forth with the guy I watch. He is eating her up. Yeah. Content creators, listen, I'm a shy person. It's actually like doing YouTube for me has been a way for me to step out of my shell and get over some social anxiety. But the shyest and the sweetest and the quietest people are the ones that'll read you for filth, okay? Because we've had to study and take notes to talk about you. So please be careful, Ashia. Be careful. You don't want people to talk about you, then don't play with God on the internet. Because that's really what she did. And that's a sin. You want to come and we could go verse for verse, girl. Bible verse for Bible verse if she wanted to. They avoid Marissa like the plague. I'm sure they do. She is extremely condescending. Can't stand it. She's passive aggressive, and I can see how that would drive someone crazy. Y'all, we are going to get into the next couple. Y'all going to tell me I'm mean because we about to discuss Katie's raggedy ass as well as Josh. Katie is just trifling and raggedy in every way that one could do it. It pisses me off. I have worked with people who have OCD. This is not that. This is not that. The drinking and all of that, you can have OCD. It's called dual diagnosis. You can have OCD and also be an alcoholic and also have some issues with sex. You can have all of that in one. But I feel like this lady is manipulative towards Josh. Josh is having a talk with Katie's friend Mark, who Katie used to fuck on and sleep with. But I guess Mark and Josh had an interaction that was not okay in the past. Now they're coming together to make peace. Josh is like, I'm not a punk. I'm going to talk to him. And so he talks to him. And Mark was actually respectful and said that he will respect the boundaries of Katie and him now that he knows like they're in a relationship and he's moved there from him. And after the conversation happened, they go inside and Katie, instead of being all over her man, like if my man and me was outside discussing stuff and we went back inside and I get drunk and a little horny, I'm going to be all over my man. Not the friend that I used to fuck that my man is uncomfortable with and did not want me to invite. I'm like, Katie, what are you doing? Why are you doing it? Make better choices, girlfriend. I don't understand why she moves like this. Now she's drunk. And immediately after the conversation, I knew Katie was going to take it to hell because after they made peace and he was like, yeah, I'm going to respect the boundaries. Katie goes, so can I make out with everyone here? Bitch, are you drunk? You must be. But she gets even drunker and she gets to a point where like she was leaning, she was stumbling, she had that death stare with the hazed eyes that the drunks be getting. Like she was gone. She was gone. Katie was not there anymore. That was her evil alter ego mixed in with a little bit of her. But she is trying to lick her friend. So I actually respect Mark because Mark was actually trying to like be respectful to Josh. And Katie is literally, he had his hand in her face, like trying to stop her from kissing him and stuff. And Josh comes up to her while it's happening. He's like, she's literally trying to lick my hand and all this crazy stuff. You know, Mark was reminding her, your man is here. You need to behave. And Mark ended up pulling Josh aside a second time with just the two of them. And he told him, because he was like, you need to stand up for yourself. If you're going to be with Katie, you need to let her know she cannot do this shit and put your foot down. I agreed with Mark because don't just let this lady walk all over you and make a fool out of you. You moved across the fucking world. Okay? You moved across the world. She needs to be respectful. And, you know, it seems like they had a good talk with that. And Josh basically expressed, he's like, well, the reason he doesn't put his foot down is because he struggles to figure out what's real and what's the OCD. But if you have to decipher the two, then that should tell you it's not the OCD, in my opinion. But they go back in, and Katie gets once again all over Mark, tried to kiss him. He wouldn't let her kiss him, put the hand up again, and she started tongue kissing his hand. So you would rather tongue kiss this man's hand than your actual fiance who's right next to you, who probably would have allowed you to tongue kiss him. Make it make sense. She don't want this man. I feel like she's just doing this to be on TV. Or Katie is doing this. Katie gives me someone who's irresponsible, both sexually, financially, and all of that. She's giving me someone who truly lives that nomadic lifestyle, who just goes with the flow because she can. And it might be that way with Josh, because if you love someone, you're not going to behave like that. I've been pissed drunk, blacked out not going to go and just be kissing on people. That's weird. That's weird. So there's definitely a lot going on. But Katie is a raggedy, trifling trollop. And that's the only way I know how to put it. And Josh needs to run. American Born said, OMG, Katie is a liar. A woman who knew her said said that she never had OCD before, only some anxiety in college. I believe her. I believe her. The woman said Katie hit on her husband, and that's when she stopped being around Katie. I believe that as well. Katie is disgusting and vile. She is. I literally, one of the few times I have nothing good to say about this person. I know I don't know her, and she's just on reality TV, but I have not a damn thing good to say about Katie. Well, they got a marriage license, found it, so we don't feel sorry for Josh anymore. Josh is either a pushover or he has a reason that he wants to be in America. It's one of the two. But I guess we will see. Maybe they'll include them in the 90-Day Diaries, or maybe they'll include them in like one of the spinoffs of 90 Day, but can't believe he married her. I wouldn't marry no bitch like her, but that's just me. The next people we're going to get into is Mallory and Rasit. So Rosh and her are going to the location of her car crash. Josh is the curly-haired gentleman, Shani, who he's dating the red-headed girl with the red lips, Katie, who wants to kiss on everybody. Yeah, Josh has to be here for a reason. It's definitely not Katie. He's not happy with her. But they go to the location of Mallory's car crash. Mallory got in a really bad car accident. She was hit by a distracted driver. She had to be in the hospital for a really long time. I guess this happened while she was with Rosh, but he was still overseas in Turkey, and he was unable to be there for her. They both got really emotional because he said that the crash is what helped him realize he didn't want to be with anyone else. She's the one who he wanted to marry. This scene did help me, even though they're kind of boring. It did help me see that this is probably the one couple that has a shot at like a healthy, stable relationship, because it seems like there's care. Later on, they're going somewhere else. They put on some music and he's twerking in the car to his Turkish music. Like, Rosh is actually very funny, but they're on their way to get a bidet. A bidet, for those who don't know, they use it outside of America and it rinses you off so you don't have as big of a need for toilet paper and all those good things. Rosh is struggling to adjust to having to use toilet paper, and he wants a bidet. They go and look at them, and they're about $1,100 to $800 to be expected. And when Mallory finds out, she's like, well, I ain't got the money. I got to pay all our bills, and I have to pay for you. And Marissa, take notes. See how Mallory reminds him she's covering everything, but ask him to be respectful. That's what you should do. But, you know, Rosh responds to Mallory. He's like, well, you're rich. You know, he thinks she's an American, she's rich, and apparently he's thinking this because she has a settlement from her accident. But Mallory says she knows that if she had the settlement money just accessible, she would spend it. So she put it into a brokerage account and purposely made it to where her money is difficult to reach and she can only really touch it for needed emergencies, which is financially smart. That's probably why she owns a house so young. And I think this is smart. But Rosh doesn't quite understand it. I wouldn't spend $800 on a bidet when we're able to wipe our ass with toilet paper. Take him to the store and show him the beauty of baby wipes and go from there, girl. That's all you can do. But it looks like they're getting into it, overspending. Let me know to y'all in the chat and those watching the replay if y'all think that they'll be able to overcome these spending habits. Like, do you think they'll be able to figure it out? I feel like they will. I feel like once Rosh has a job, things will get easy. But I do worry that Rosh should get a job and then be focused more on sending money home than on his household. But we'll see. Oh, the slam pig. You got it. Shout out to Housewives of Rhode Island, y'all. Check out the replay on the channel. We did a final review for it. The season has concluded. The guy from England, Shani. Yes, yes, yes. Oh, yes. The slam pig with the bootleg OCD. It is literally bootleg OCD. That is the best way to describe it. American Boy says, listen, I love Mallory and Rosh, but he has no concept of money, and it shows. It definitely shows. Does he not know how to wipe his ass properly? In other countries, they use bidets instead of toilet paper, so I feel like that's where he's having a problem. Mallory should have never told him about that settlement money. I wouldn't have told him. If it's not your husband, they don't need to know, because people will find ways to get money from you and make you think that they're not doing it. They do have clip-on bidets. They do. But I feel like they did this for the show. I'm sure they did it for the show. He has always used a bidet in Turkey. Yep. Exactly. Get a pack of flushable wipes from Costco and figure it out. He just want his ass to feel wet. Figure it out. Figure it out. But not much else happened with them this episode. American Born says, and I agree, it will be, we need to send money to my parents next. She better keep an eye on her finances. I think she will keep an eye on her finances. Mallory gives me someone that's fiscally responsible, and I'm glad. I think more women need to be like that. But I definitely feel like she is responsible with money. If anybody is looking for other YouTubers to subscribe to, check out the description of my video. There's something I put in there. It's a Black Creator Spotlight. It is in the description of every video. You will find links to other YouTubers' channels. You'll also find links to people's websites, people who own businesses, have merch. And if you're interested in having your stuff shown on one of my lives, let me know. All of that is in the description. But let's get into Ashia and Maxwell. They're in Nigeria because Ashia and Maxwell are not able to get their K1 visa because they think it's fraudulent, because she hooked him and his friend up or something like that. So she's trying to find ways to get him here. She says that God told her to go to Nigeria. Seemed like God's telling you to not be with this man and you not listening, but okay. Didn't God tell you not to judge too? So you figure, I'm not going to judge him. I'm just going to change him. His face, his eyes, his skin. I hate people who move like this. If you truly love someone, you're not going to change anything about them, but I'll let it go. Now they're discussing Maxwell's style. They're trying to get dressed for the day. He was picking something that did look nice on him, but she was like, "Nah, I don't want you to wear that. It's hot. You gonna be sweating." And I'm like, why are you talking to this man like he not a grown-ass man? Like, the hell are you doing? We later hear that Ashia likes to dress his clothing, and she, the producers ask her like how she feels about his style, and she says it's terrible. And she talks about the blue suit that he wore. And that pissed me off. Bitch, how are you going to go look for a man in Africa and then be mad that he greeted you at the airport in traditional African wear? Why the fuck would you go to a country and not look up traditional wear? That's like going to Dubai and being surprised that the women wear hijabs. Like, what are we doing? I just don't understand. It's rude. She's so disrespectful to the culture. It's rude. And you would think as a person of color that she would be just a little more sensitive, because being Black, we get judged and disliked for no reason, and we're not welcome in every country and got to be careful and make sure it's safer. Like, I don't like how she's moving with that. I thought that was so disrespectful. It could be because I'm African, but I was very offended. They go to greet his family for the morning, and she said, "Good morning, Ma. Good morning, Dad." And Maxwell stops her and it's like, "Well, no, I've told you this before. In Nigeria, you say, 'Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, sir.' And at the end of the meal, you say, 'Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.'" Ashia did not like that, but she did correct herself. She said, "Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, sir." And she listened. But he tells his parents him and her are leaving because they need to talk privately, because all the family's in the same room. And the family seemed really annoyed that she wanted to have a private conversation with them. They're like, "Why does it have to be private?" Because it's their fucking marriage. Nigerian or not, I'm sure you understand that they can have a private conversation. Get over it. But Maxwell's mom is annoyed because she says that in her country and in her culture, she says Nigerian women submit to the man whether they have a job or don't have a job. This is just what you do in a marriage. And I'm like, she's not of Nigerian culture. And this is the thing. If you're going to date outside of your culture, I feel the same way about his mom that I feel about Ashia. You need to acknowledge and respect his culture, but he also needs to acknowledge and respect yours. So I ain't submitting to nobody that ain't working. Ain't no way. It better be temporary. You better be on unemployment and looking every single day. But I'm not submitting if you can't even get a job. Absolutely not. But his mom doesn't like that Ashia doesn't submit. So they are on the way to shop. And in the car, Maxwell explains to Ashia, that she needs to be more respectful of the family. And Ashia says, that she is dating him, not the family, and vice versa. She said that ain't biblical. Neither is you pretending to be speaking in tongues on national television, but I digress. And mind you, I do believe in the power of tongues and went to churches where people have done this. Okay. I girl, bye. Talk about that's not biblical. I can't stand judgmental Christians. And that's exactly what she is. Everything opposite of the Bible while preaching and throwing it in people's face. Like, girl, stop. But Ashi is just an absolute mess. An absolute mess. His response to what she said is, well, maybe God don't want us married. And she's like, huh? And they're having tension and things of that nature because I think he's tired of her. And he raised his voice a little bit, but he didn't yell at her. And she was like, don't raise your voice at me. Well, if you're not listening to him when he's talking to you respectful, bitch, what the fuck else is he supposed to do? Shut up and hear what he's saying. And then maybe he won't have to raise his voice because she wants all the respect in the world, but isn't willing to give a little bit of it. Now, it just, at first I was like, maybe she's just trying to fix his appearance, put him onto American products. Now I see she's controlling as hell. And that's probably why she's alone at this age. But it was a mess because while they are shopping for clothing and cloth and trying to find some stuff to bring back for the family, Ashia's mom is at home with Maxwell's mom and they're having a talk. And they're asking about certain stuff with Ashia and they explain like she's not just going to submit. And then her mom also told on her because I guess the family didn't know Ashia was 30. She's 38 years old. Now, in African culture, not just Nigerian culture, a lot of African cultures, that's old to have never had a baby or have never been married. And if your son is younger, you don't want him to be with a woman really over 35, like his mom explained. So they are so upset and concerned about her having a baby. And the mom explained it's not because a woman loses value, it's because she'll be too old to run after the baby and do things, which is kind of true. You are less likely, we probably have a lower rate of like developmental disabilities, genetic disorders, and things like that if people had kids younger. But obviously it's different in every culture, but they're not happy about that at all. At all. I don't know if Ashia and him will make it. I feel like with what's going on, they should be on before the 90 days versus 90-day fiance. Because I have a feeling they're not going to be able to figure out the visa. But I feel like TLC just kind of threw together a season because they seem to always have 90-day come after before the 90 days and all this other stuff. But we shall see. I love that Ashia's mom called her out unknowingly. She looked so confused. I think the mom figured it out toward the end when they explained they're not okay with that. But, you know, I get it. You love your daughter, but counsel her because something wrong. She went to Nigeria because no American man will have her. I can't blame them. I'd run too if I were them. I'd run too. Isn't she in his country? I think he would know how to dress for the weather. Thank you, Shani. Thank you. Okay. That's crazy. She's just controlling. And I'm like, if you love him, why is it that every little thing about him you want to change? But we will see what happens with Ashia and Maxwell. Hopefully they figure it out. But, you know, if they don't, the show will go on. But she's definitely delusional and I need him to man up and put her in her place because she is a woman that needs to be put in her place. She just is. She's too controlling. Y'all, we're going to get into Shay and Annabelle next. He grosses me out. I just know he stinks at the mouth. I feel like his ear holes stink. I just don't. Ugh. Shay, you know, Annabelle's making him smoothies because she's trying to get him off of the constant drinking and partying. She wants him to put something healthy in his body. And Shay is funny. I swear I'm already losing some weight. Standing up on the camera all wide, blocking the whole field of view. I said, Shay, you're not losing weight just from drinking a smoothie. A smoothie is not going to help you guys lose weight. It'll give you some energy and give you some nutrients, but doing that alone ain't going to help you lose weight, Shay. But okay, all right. Now, they go to see his daughter, Allison. And I was surprised because Allison came on the show. I swore I was not going to like Allison because she came on the show and was like, I don't want nobody to take my dad away from me. I want to be the center of attention. And she says that she likes Annabelle and sees that her dad has done some bullshit. And she doesn't mind Annabelle being around because Annabelle ain't trying to keep her from the daddy. He not. Shani says Shay looked like he smelled and he dirty. That's why she's always cleaning his ass. Yep. And she's always cleaning the house or cleaning something. He just looks nasty and filthy. But Allison likes Annabelle and says that her dad be on bullshit. And, she doesn't mind Annabelle around, but she also feels like she wants to snitch on her dad because she doesn't appreciate her dad for not being around the way that he said he would. So Allison tells Annabelle about the ex-wife, Nicole, who told her of the cheating and all the messiness. Her stuff is still in Shay's house, and Nicole and him are supposed to be divorced. And Annabelle is not happy about the stuff being in the house. I said, oh, Lord. So now that Annabelle is aware of this, they go home, and Shay shows her the stuff, and she's like, you need to call her to come get it. And he's like, well, but, I've been trying to do this. She keeps her foot on his neck, and he goes away to call. I would have been like, no, you stand your fat ass right here and call right in front of me, since he liked to lie and cheat. But she let him go where he went, and she went on next door to the other property and knocked on Allison's door to ask him. And she tells the confessional, and I hollered when Annabelle said this. Annabelle is fed up because she said, I go next door to talk to Allison about Shay because Shay is a bitch and he will never tell me the truth. But Allison will not lie to me. She called her man a bitch. I said, I'm not mad at Annabelle. She said he a bitch, but the daughter gonna give me the truth. Listen, don't matter the reason, but the daughter gonna give her the truth. And she goes, and Allison explains that when Annabelle was in the Philippines and her and Shay were here while they were engaged, she explains that he was never seen kissing or holding hands with Nicole, but he will tell her that he loved her. He'll tell her he'll always love her, and he still be smacking her cheeks and smacking her on the booty. Annabelle says she's done, but I need to see it to believe it, because what more do you need to hear? The man's child is coming to you and telling you. What further proof do you need? Leave this man. Please leave this man. I don't understand what else you want to do, because that is true. Shay was acting like he was just the man and just partying. You know what happens at the light stories at the light, Barbara. Boy, I do think Shay is one of those people who may be like Ashia, couldn't catch a woman here that he could keep or that wasn't toxic, so he went overseas. Like, ugh, can't stand her. But what y'all think Annabelle finna do next week? Let me know, replay in the chat what you think they will do. If you are here now, let me know what you think's gonna happen with them. But he disgusts me. And I feel like she had looked past his nasty looks and the dirtiness for love, but now he's doing her dirty, and she gonna leave Shay. Because I think a lot of the American people on 90 Day be thinking that we have just the greatest quality of life, which we're trained to think from younger, but people have a good quality of life living in the Philippines. There's some people with a bad quality of life. Their poor is really poor compared to here, but people can have a good quality of life outside of America and in other countries. They absolutely can. So don't think that just because she's over here in America that she won't go back to the Philippines. She has something to go back to, because something tells me that's why Shay is acting the way he acts with her. But I can't fucking stand him. He just grosses me out. I be wanting to clean my house when I put him on the TV. Hell. Shanny said he got a pregnant lady belly. We're not going to insult the pregnant women out there like that. He bigger than a pregnant bitch. He's pregnant like Kate +8 was. Stomach big as hell. Got to hold it up with saran wrap. Can't. The daughter needs to be slapped. She does. Like, I don't like her attitude still with her dad. Like, I'm extremely close to my dad. Shout out Savior Charles. I love you. But I would never tell my dad's dirt. Like, that's weird. But my dad would also never do dirt like around me that I could give back to his wife if he did anything like that. Like, I think that's weird, because she basically was saying she feels bad for Annabelle, but then she also said she's only telling Annabelle stuff because she's irritated with her dad. She's a vengeful little spoiled brat. Annabelle was right about that. If I was him, I wouldn't give her any more extra money. I agree. But, he don't want his daughter to tell his business. I think that's why he keep giving her money. I think how he acts next week will seal the deal for her. Ooh, I need to go rewatch the clip for next week. Right. Look at Forrest and his woman. Okay. Forrest is so funny. Forrest's profile picture on all of social media is a picture of him standing next to a screen with Sheena's face on it at the tell-all. Like, okay, Forrest. I was super close to my dad and I never told on him for anything. Exactly. Exactly. Somebody asked me if my dad did it. Nope. He was with me. I'm giving him an alibi and all of that. Like, no. Crazy. Absolutely insane. She's a spoiled brat. She is. But I'm happy she's at least letting Annabelle know. But I want Annabelle to get out of there. Like, I really want her to get out of there. The last people, though, that we gonna talk about, the boring motherfuckers that I hope leave this show for good. Thomas and Paola. I actually don't mind Paola. I like her. It's Thomas that I'm realizing I can't stand. So Thomas was concerned for Paola and how she was spending money. So he gave her a credit card with a $25,000 limit because that's the smartest thing to do. If you furnish the house, you probably could have spent less than $25,000 and she would have been happy and been able to do something with her life. Thomas is a manipulative and controlling narcissist. And I know that seems like a lot, but I sense it. I can see it. And I also feel like he does that thing that Americans do on 90 Day Fiance where he's acting like he has it better, knows more than her. And Paola had a great life in Brazil, a business, a property that she can go back to. So he better act accordingly. But she's using a credit card to purchase like tiny items. She says she wants a couch, so she purchased a tiny couch and is going to manifest it. He keeps calling her manifesting something stupid. It's almost like he wants her to thank him for everything. But what the fuck is she thanking you for? A closet and the ability to wear out her knees sooner than they need to because you want to sit at this small ass table? Like, no, you haven't made her feel welcome at all. But she ends up going to see their neighbors who are also Brazilian. And so she's gotten close with them. And she tells them of the weird housing situation and the camping table and all of these things, which they seem to empathize with her. I was actually happy to see she has somebody to talk to that wasn't him because, look, American born sick of Thomas too. I think we're all sick of Thomas. And I've been commenting all over the 90 Day blogs that he should have been the one to move to Brazil for her because he obviously just wants to control her. You can roller skate and do all that you do in Brazil, sir. Just saying. But later on, they go skating because it's his thing. She's on the skateboard. They're skating. They have a cute little date. And, you know, they discuss her not feeling happy. She doesn't feel welcome. She doesn't have space. And I do feel like Thomas manipulates her to make her feel like she's like doing something she doesn't need or spending too much money. But I want her to like stand up for herself, if that makes sense. I just don't like the way that he moves. And he's got her thinking about going back to Brazil. Because if you're not willing to get rid of this bed to get a couch, you can't get me a regular table or a chair to sit on. Like, I can't be comfortable. Even a hotel gives you a bed, a couch, and a fucking table. Like, I don't understand why he can't do it. Thomas, if Motel 6 and what's another motel? Days Inn, the Comfort Inn, Extended Stay America, hell, they all come with couches, beds, and tables. I don't see why you can't get that. You can keep your tiny table, but at least give her the option. And what I see happening is Paola's been willing to compromise in every way for Thomas, but Thomas is not willing to compromise for her at all. And he just gives me someone that seems like a lame. Like, I just don't like him. So we'll see. I'm still mad at him for destroying her perfume. But I cannot stand Thomas. He bores me. Paola's personality is out there, but he's just boring. Not fun to watch. Let me know if I'm missing something that you guys found interesting that maybe I missed about Thomas and Paola, but that's all that really happened with them. I'm curious to see if she'll go back to Brazil. I really want her to. Like, it's not just that she has property, family, and friends. Like, she has a whole business out there that was successful. Like, she don't need this bullshit. She don't. So we will see what happens with them. But y'all, that was it for this review. I covered every couple. Let me know how you felt, Replay Gang, about the couple. If you are watching when we're no longer live, you still matter. I would love to hear your opinions. I will be back again next week to go over 90 Day Fiancé, but I will be going over it at the time that I was going over the Housewives of Rhode Island. I'll be doing 90 Day Fiancé at 4:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That is 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time and 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I love y'all. I appreciate you for watching. Tomorrow, We'll be live to go over 90 Day The Last Resort. I don't like Shekinah, but it's been a good season of The Last Resort. And then after that, on Wednesday, I'll have $1 Million Nannies review up. Wednesday or Thursday, one of those days. I can't remember which one. But I will see y'all next time. I hope y'all enjoy the rest of your evening or day. Au revoir, beautiful people. You're all thugs, thug life.